by fire. Also this afternoon, in the aftermath of the massive flooding following the Akosombo Dam spillage, we'll tell you the story of a 20-year-old who is ensuring that no child is left behind in the midst of disaster. Some international news as dengue fever kills hundreds in Burkina Faso as cases spike. You're welcome to the program. Let's start off with some unfortunate news as over 200 structures comprising shops and makeshift structures at the Makola Old Shopping Mall in Accra have been gutted by fire. The fire, which is reported to have started at dawn on Saturday, destroyed valuables running into millions of cedis. Well, the Deputy Director of Operations, DO1, Kofi Forsing, has attributed the delay in putting out the inferno to lack of access by the fire tenders to the mall. 9 fire tenders and 70 firefighters were deployed in the 6-hour exercise.
At a fire master control around 24 hours. That was around 24 hours yesterday. And then we dispatched our metro fire station here. Less than 2 minutes they were here. So 26 they were here. And when they got here, they realized the fire was beyond the ordinary. That is, it has reached its fully developed stage. So immediately the officer in charge proactively called for multiple pumps. So we use 9 firefighting appliances, including 1 RTC pickup. The place is locked with padlock, so we need to have equipment that we can cut the padlock and then assess the seat of the fire. So we were able to bring the fire under control at 0400 hours. We were able to confine the fire at 0400 hours, and after 52 minutes, that is 0452 hours, we were able to bring the fire under control. Exactly 0836 hours this morning, the fire was finally extinguished. In all, about 200 structures, including makeshift structures, got totally burnt, including their content. We were able to salvage over 2,000 stores, including makeshift shops. And then again, we were able to salvage the ECG substation, which is just about 10 meters away. Yes, and that is what we were able to do. We used 9 firefighting appliances and then 70 men to combat this fire. Again, some of the challenges we had was accessibility. Because of the makeshift structures, they have encroached on the alleys, so it makes the place very narrow to access. Again, there was a hydrant just about 20 meters away from here, but the pressure running through is very low, so we had to go to Farisco to pick up water. That is why we called for multiple pumps to come and then augment the firefighting. That is water supply for the firefighting. And there was no casualty recorded, no death recorded. However, the combustion material involved are wicks, perfumes, and then cosmetics, and then jewelries. And you and I know that when cosmetics or that perfume are exposed to heat, they tend to explode, and that is what we experienced. However, by the agile and the proactiveness of the firemen, they were able to bring the fire under control in less than 4.5 hours, and then finally extinguished about 6 hours later. That's why we are here.
Well, the Assistant Divisional Officer Grade 1, ADO Alex Kinati, is the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service, is joining us with some more updates. Mr. Nati, thank you for joining us on the program. Talk to us about your preliminary investigations and findings as a result of the fire.
Okay, good afternoon to your listeners and the viewers. So our preliminary investigations are still ongoing to determine the cause. With fires of this nature, the causes range from a variety of reasons. It could be electrical, it could be heater. So we are not ruling, it could even be absent. So we are not ruling out any possibility as of now.
Right. How about victims, those affected? We know that about 200 shops have been affected as a result. But what essentially do these shops comprise of? What do they have inside them?
From what we gathered, the shops were mainly used for the sale of perfumes and then human hair or wig. So, these items are highly combustible. And during the firefighting process, we experienced a lot of explosions underway when our men were fighting the fire. There were so many occasions we had to run for cover due to the kind of combustible materials and how explosive these materials were. So basically, the perfumes and the human hair exacerbated the fire, and then it took our men about 10 hours to fight the fire, and as per our objective, until the fire is totally extinguished. We don't leave the scene, so for now, we can say that the fire is totally extinguished.
My next question to you will be, are there immediate plans for the affected shops that appear to be weak after the inferno to be relooked at? But from your work also, what will that also entail?
Can you come again?
So what I'm asking is the integrity of the remaining shops around the area. Can, traders go back to these shops and begin working? Okay,
so you realize there's a very big shop over there, and so part of it was even collapsed due to its structural integrity. But then the other side was very strong and wasn't affected. So I'm sure we'll be looking at the part that was affected, and then we'll make our recommendations to the appropriate authorities.
Right, Alex Nati, thank you so much for joining us with updates on the fire at the Makula Market. Alex Nati is the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service. Well, Elizabeth Squi, she's the Chief Executive of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, and she's also been reacting to the fire outbreak.
It's really unfortunate. We are having our 125th anniversary, and then trying to clean the whole of Accra, as you already know what we've started doing. We heard about this event, and we thought it's wise to also come around and see. Now we have come to inspect the whole thing. We've seen what has happened, and we've spoken to fire service. They will surely give us the report, and I insist that they will give us the report, and then after the report we will take the necessary action that needs to be done. Thank you.
What will you tell market women as far as fire safety is concerned? Because these issues happen over and over, and we can't go on like that.
Yes, to the market women, I'm very sure that they are aware. We always have a monthly program with them, especially the fire service department comes to teach them what they should do, and they should be able to do all those things. I'm surprised that we still have these things happening, and I think it's something that we put in quote attitude now. So we'll see to it that we end that by putting in some sanctions. I think all that I want to say for now is that you should always be cautious. When you live in your room, especially the market, they should switch off all the lights and make sure every fire is off before they leave the marketplace.
Well, some traders also spoke to the media who have been affected as a result of the fire outbreak. Well, we'll be hearing from the traders affected by the fire that has gutted over 200 shops at the Makula Old Shopping Mall shortly. But you're watching Midday Live on TV3. We're live also on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana Plus on DSTV channel 279. My name is Noble Crosby, and we're going for a quick break. We'll be back with more stories. Please stay with us.
It's Max Buy Half Price promo. Enjoy half price on all home appliances this week. Half price on fridges, TVs, ACs, washing machine. Hurry! Limited stock available. Visit any Max Buy shop across Ghana. What are you waiting for? Avoid the rush. Stock up now. Call 05969132298. It's Max Buy Half Price promo.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chesena me ankasa me period no say problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chesena nya asem ketewa na mkwan point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra me nu hofro kwa na mkwan mu a eba head everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama nu a ene ne ho idea watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you of Acrobato.
Hello
hey ohwehwe what che okay a free bra wo di end point what dance am me call you no me Johnson say my name koye and person my emre nyina and me gina sebema na me be fear for there the one dey nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
Are you tired of dealing with toilet paper that irritates your skin and clogs your toilet? I mean your WCs? Wait, I have great news for you. Flora Toilet Roll is the game changer. Flora Toilet Roll is thick, gentle on the skin, and fragrance free, making it ideal to clean your intimate parts as it causes no skin irritations and or allergies. The best part is it is made to dissolve easily, preventing plumbing issues and clogs. Experience the ultimate comfort of Flora Toilet Roll. No more clogs, no more skin irritations.
Your natural hair deserves the best treatment. And that's exactly what Maxim Twist and Kale Butter gives you. First, wash your hair thoroughly with Maxim shampoo and conditioner. Apply Maxim leave-in conditioner to make your hair soft. Then, apply a generous amount of Maxim Twist and Kale Butter. Then twist. Blow dry your hair for some minutes and add oil moisturizer to give it a great shine. With Maxim Twist and Kale Butter, you can untwist your hair and have it anyhow you want it. Available in cosmetic shops, Maxim Leave-In Conditioner and Maxim Twist and Kale Butter, because you're the max.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Sunday on Hot Issues.
AG is saying that you have failed to cooperate with their investigation.
It's not true. I cooperated with the CID fully. I'm not an investigating agent.
Are you a traitor? Who, to your mind, is the most vulnerable and has more baggage than all the aspirants? Are you referring to the Vice President?
Yes. If we are strong, then we leave him and to compete on a level playing field. But then if party government appointees are more or less whipped in line to toe that line, it shows that he is weak and he needs that kind of support.
Hot Issues, premiering Sunday 22nd October at 2 p.m. on TV3. TV3, first in news.
11 seasons have fast come and gone. 11 winners have emerged. 11 triumphant victories celebrated and remembered in history for a long time. Now the 12th season has arrived. Talents have come to prove their worth in music.
Don't let me cheat on you. Oh, my baby, you're a queen.
Never be you. Talents have risen to the occasion. It is time to unveil the new batch of extraordinary musical geniuses for Mentor Season 12. Catch the Mentor Season 12 unveiling show live at 8 p.m. on TV3.
High five, can you do that laugh for me one more time?
This is TV3 Mentor Season 12. The world awaits you.
Mentor is brought to you by Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil, and Napa Foods, Sense Body Spray,
Bell Ice, Vitamilk, Dragnet.
You're welcome back to the broadcast. Let's take you to the Ashanti region now, where calm has been restored to Pankrono and Adabraka after a violent clash between two youth groups. The clash was triggered following the death of one Owusu Banahene on Wednesday evening, October 18. Leadership of both communities, they've also been meeting to bring lasting solution to what seems a long-lasting feud between the youth groups. Ibrahim Abubakar joins us with some more updates. Ibrahim, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. We're told this is a common occurrence among the youth groups. Bring us the backstory. What have you gathered to be the underlying factors of these clashes?
Well, sources within the community tell me that there is a scourge of drug abuse among the youth group, not just Pankrono or Adabraka alone. Yesterday, I indicated that from Tafo, Pankrono, Adabraka is now to Tonso to Abua. So all these communities are on the same stretch, and there is this common violent clash between the youth group within those communities. But the last time this happened, there were some investigations, and authorities observed that it is because of the growing incident of drug addiction among these youth. So the little misunderstanding between one group and the other will just escalate into something violent. And show of power, every group wants to be the fearful. So then they will end up stabbing each other. So they've been able to identify the cause of these common occurrence. But as to whether both steps have been taken to address it is another issue. The last time, both the music and opinion leaders decided that they would take that bold step to disband this youth group. But as we speak, we still have these groups within the community. So it is something that is worrying to residents, and the consequence is always the loss of lives and destruction of properties.
We understand that calm has returned to the communities, but do we still have the presence of the police manifestly there today?
Well, we still have a number of police personnel patrolling the communities, even though majority of them have been withdrawn. So the number today as compared to yesterday, you can see a reduction. But for the police intelligence, they have both uniform and non-uniform people around the community just to make sure that there wouldn't be any retaliatory attack. But for these youth, sometimes after a day or two, you may think that everything has normalized. But these are people who can even go a month, 2, 3, and come back with the retaliatory attack. In fact, the recent incident, we recently found out that even though the victim was a mistaken identity, it was his elder brother that was the target, because apparently he had a fight with those groups some 2 years ago, and they thought that things have been resolved and they've gone past it, just for the group to come back and attack his junior brother. So this is something that we can't say has been totally solved, even though for now people have come out trading and conducting their business activities. But the police remains firm on the ground just to make sure that they have absolute peace before they withdraw all from.
Ibrahim, thank you so much. Ibrahim Abubakar spoke with us from the Ashanti region. Away from that to the Volta region now, where MP for Korle Klote, Dr. Zanato Ajman Rawlings, has donated some relief items to the Squi Jokoto District Hospital in the Volta region. Matron of the hospital, Alberta Asase, who received the items, was grateful for the donation, which she says will go a long way in caring for patients who visit the facility.
By the floods that has been...
Well, my colleague Judith Brown is following the Member of Parliament for Korle constituencies in Attojban Rawlings. She has more in this report.
Overwhelmed. It's a Saturday, so of course things are a bit calm, but over the week I've been told that this hospital was very much overwhelmed and a lot of people had trooped in here because some of the other hospitals and petty clinics that were in the community have been submerged in water, and so of course this hospital has received more clients or more patients than it can hold. We're also told that some of the pregnant women, have doubled, the number of pregnant women have doubled as compared to the capacity here. So we'll be talking to the matron of the hospital. She's here currently with me. She'll be telling us really what the extent of damage has been here, and she will tell us really how they have been coping throughout this period. Hello, madam. Can we know your name?
My name is Mrs. Monica Alberta Asase, the head of nursing of the South Togo District Hospital.
Right now, what has been the situation ever since the flooding started here?
The hospital is overwhelmed just because Richard Novati Hospital is not working. It has been closed down, and we serve the South Togo District and its environment. Actually, we have 68 bed capacity, but as I'm talking to you now, we have 87 inpatients, and the outpatients attended has increased due to the close down of Richard Novati Hospital.
Right, and what has happened to supplies? Of course, once there are more people, the supplies might dwindle. How have you been coping?
Okay, actually, there is pressure on our supplies because we have already purchased our consumables for the period before the disaster, but we are planning to add more to whatever we have at stock.
Right, and so I'm told that the pregnant women, their number has doubled. How are you coping with the situation right there in the maternity ward?
Hello, it's true. The numbers has doubled. We are currently nursing some of the mothers on the floor, some in our procedure room. That is what we are doing now, just to curtail the situation.
So you heard from her, they have been nursing, some of the nursing mothers have been sleeping right on the floor. But of course, there have been some relief items brought to them right now today by Zaneto Rawlings, who also has her family house right there in Tefle, which is near Sogakope. And she has come to donate some items, a lot of items to the hospital kindly. And so we spoke to her. She, spoke about the fact that she is a medical doctor, and so she really understands how hospitals can be overwhelmed as a result of situations like this. She's also said that she wishes that there will be more safe havens for more communities when such disasters happen. And she's also calling for a national, for the declaration of a state of emergency, as others have called for. We know that the Member of Parliament for North Tong, Samuel Okujazo Ablakwa, as well as other MPs have called for the declaration of a state of emergency here as the situation has gone very bad, and so she's part of those who are calling for a state of emergency, but we are yet to see really what the extent of damage is in other hospitals. Of course, she spoke to us, the matron has told us that some of the hospitals have been submerged in water, and so this has overwhelmed this place really. So we'll see what really would happen in the coming days. Reporting from Sogakope District Hospital, I'm Judith Brown.
That was my colleague Judith Brown speaking with us there. Now, private legal practitioner Martin Pigbo has joined calls for President Akufo-Addo to declare a state of emergency following the flood that has caused a lot of damage in the Volta regional areas. The call was also supported by other panelists who appear on Key Points Saturday, October 21.
31 is on point. If you declare it, then within 72 hours, it has to be put before Parliament, right?
Yes.
Yes, then Parliament will decide whether the state of emergency should continue or they are revoking it, right? Yes. Then after 7 days, Parliament now has to decide that should it continue, and if it's going to continue it for 3 months. Yeah. And so what is it that maybe we are not getting? If maybe they have seen reasons why a state of emergency should not be declared, they should come up.
Anything that will bring relief to Ghana, be it given by who or not, is welcome. So the call is very welcome. And I want to believe that the president is considering this prompting. We will lose nothing if we call for it. We only gain what we will gain if the call brings in anything.
He can deploy the 64 engineers to build roads, cut new roads, use their machines to build new steel bridges, because engineered roads have been cut off, have been flooded, have been submerged. Residential homes or makeshift residential facilities can be built for the people by the soldiers.
Okay.
Because that is like in a wartime, we are in a state of emergency. But if you don't declare it, you can't deploy the army in this manner, because Parliament will ask you questions.
There is the lack of patriotism on the part of many of us, even in our quest to discharge duties reposed in us. You are spilling, but without thinking about its impact on the lives of other people. And right from the word go, even before benefiting from the invaluable information from the members of parliament here, I sat down and I was asking, couldn't this have been done bit by bit? And couldn't we have averted, the situation?
In North Thong alone, we have 15 safe havens that are currently taking care of close to 5,000 people. These people couldn't go to their friends or families because they don't readily have some. So we should be able to coordinate to ensure that assistance gets to all of them. And all the partners definitely should be very much welcome on board throughout the long haul. Then we also have to ensure that we have adequate supply.
Let's get onto the phone lines and speak again with Dr. Squi Jokoto, the Deputy Regional Director in charge of Public Health at the Volta region. Dr. Jokoto, thank you for joining us. Good afternoon to you. How is the Ghana Health Service coping with the situation in the aftermath of the floods?
Thank you very much for the opportunity to once again engage. So we have our response plans in place. So what we are doing is to ensure that along all the thematic areas, from coordination, enhanced surveillance, risk communication, case management, we try as much as possible to sustain efforts towards essential health service delivery. So what is most important at this point, like I said earlier on, is to make sure that the people are safe. They have safe drinking water, and the sanitary conditions are well taken care of, and all the hygienic protocols are followed. And the second thing is to make sure that we are ready for any kind of eventuality. If there's any epidemic that will happen, we should be in a position to deal with it even before it begins to escalate into a situation that would bring us some difficulties. So the key word is for us to continue to collaborate to sustain the effort over the next 4 to 6 weeks. We just begun. Thankfully, we've not recorded any severe case yet, and we are hoping that all through this period, we are not going to lose any lives.
As the residents continue to bear the brunt of the floods and its impact, there are also concerns of the outbreak of diseases, just like what you mentioned. But for children particularly, what is the trend you're observing since the flooding situation?
So essential health service delivery to these areas, the affected areas, have been disrupted. The children especially are supposed to get all their vaccination, they have their immunization schedules that they are going by. In this situation where people have relocated, people have lost their weighing cards, as we call it, it would mean that they will find it very difficult accessing services. That is why we are putting in place contingency measures, these mobile clinics. We worked over the past few days to gather the data so that we will be able to connect them back into getting the routine services. Because if they begin to miss their immunization appointment, then what could even further complicate the issue would be the vaccine preventable diseases that could begin to rear its ugly head as well. Diseases like measles, polio. So we need a holistic plan to continue to deal with it so that essential services are delivered to the displaced populations especially.
In a coverage of the situation there, my colleague Emmanuel Samani reported of the presence of some other concerns still in relation to health. For instance, some skin conditions on children, rashes, and others relating to the health capacity of the kids who have been affected by these. In the area of the flooding situation in the midst of these communicable diseases, how much of a worry is their spread and the efforts to contain them before they also blow out of proportion?
Yes, so we sympathize with all those who are coming up with some of these disease conditions. Ours is to, first of all, communicate to prevent it, catch it early and treat it. And in this particular environment, we expect that we have some of these conditions and we are prepared to manage it. But we are not only prepared to manage it because we are not firefighters. We want to prevent it, but when it shows up, we are also prepared to manage it.
Dr. Jokoto, thank you so much for your time with us on the program. We're speaking with Dr. Squi Jokoto there, Deputy Regional Director in charge of Public Health at the Volta region. Well, when water from the spill gates of the dams tore through communities in the Volta region, it did not only impact businesses and livelihoods, but also education. Surrounded by nothing but ruins, a ray of hope has emerged from unexpected quarters in Mepe. Emmanuel Samani tells the story of how 20-year-old Gertrude is ensuring that no child is left behind, even in the midst of the disaster.
Schools are shut, teachers have been impacted, and education seems to come to a standstill.
So we're now here at the St. Kizito Senior High School, where families, young and old, share this single space, the Home Econs 3 class. This class used to be a space of teaching and learning. Now these families call this place their home.
But with benches and no school stationery, these children have nothing to give, but their hearts are eager to receive knowledge from a 20-year-old.
Who can show me the nose? How many do you have? One. Only one. What else? Armpit. Armpit. How many armpits do you have? Two.
Gertrude Nachukwi, a young senior high school graduate, is determined to make a difference. In the face of adversity, Gertrude becomes a beacon of hope, ensuring that the dreams of these children remain alive. With her unwavering commitment, she's filling the void left by closed schools. Gertrude's lesson spans various subjects, from math to science, English and RME. She's creating a nurturing environment where children continue to dream, learn and grow.
From the beginning, when I started, it was a week ago. So some listening to me, paying attention, comporting themselves, it was difficult. So I have to persuade them with some toffees and biscuits before they pay attention. But now it's okay. But writing, teaching without writing, it's not good. We have various classes from 1 to 5, basic 1 to 5. So I do general teaching like personal hygiene, letter sounds, parts of the body, like general things that all of them have a knowledge of. So
she tells me why she took this initiative.
They were not going to school, and most of the times since we moved here, they've been playing around, no school, no studies. So I just decided to gather them up there and teach them something.
Amidst the rising waters, these children have found hope. Gertrude has shown them that their dreams can weather any storm. Parents and community members share their appreciation for Gertrude's work.
I think Gertrude is doing a very good job that we were not expecting. Because of the flood, we think we will be scattered all over. But I think that girl is doing a good job for our children, because they will not be roaming about, maybe going to the riverside for the flood to tag them and then kill them for us. So I think she's doing very well.
I came here this morning, I saw her gather some children and she was teaching them. And I love the way she was teaching the students. She was using the interactive method. She asked the question, the students responding, is getting everybody involved in the teaching practice, in the teaching and learning process.
Amid the disaster, Gertrude's dedication has ignited a spark of knowledge, courage, and resilience in a generation of children. Her efforts are not just a lesson in survival, but a testament to the undying spirit of human endeavor. Even when the waters recede, the lessons learned in this time of crisis will continue to resonate among the children. Emmanuel Samani, TV3 News, Mepe, in the Volta region.
Now, the people of Agotimas, your traditional area, are demanding justice for their native one, Felix Aoji, who they allege was murdered by the police in Hull. The town folks have demonstrated against the act and called on the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, to intervene as chairman of the Police Council.
The family of Felix Aoji in August embarked on a peaceful demonstration demanding justice for their son, who was arrested by the police on August 8 for alleged car thefts. On August 9, the police informed the family that Felix Aoji had died after a sudden illness. The family, chiefs and people of Avemedolakwi subsequently organized a protest debunking the police claims and gave a 3-day ultimatum to the Inspector General of Police and the Police Council to address the matter. It's been 2 months and yet no action, compelling the family, chiefs and people of Avemedolakwi to organize another protest. The chief of Ziope Togbi Gboli appealed to the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, to, as a matter of urgency, intervene to ensure that justice prevails.
Up till now, for the Ghana Police Service to even come to the family to condole the family, oh, we are sorry for what has happened. How are you people doing in the house? Because the guy in question, Felix, was the pillar in the house, was the pillar in the tower. Now he has got broken. The pillar cannot stand. The feeding aspect in the house, the shelter, and whatsoever. This guy has been performing well in the house.
The Queen Mother of Avemedolakwi appealed to authorities to release the body for burial as tradition demands.
Away from that, people labelled as witches or wizards continue to suffer in the hands of others despite a criminal offences amendment bill passed by Parliament 3 months ago, yet to be assigned to by the President. Evelyn Tingma has been finding out what may be preventing the President from signing it into law.
Amendment Bill, also known as the AntiWitchcraft Bill, was passed by Parliament, prohibiting the practice of witch doctors or witch finders. It has also banned the accusation of someone being a witch. But some civil society groups have expressed concern over the delay in signing the bill into law. When a bill is passed by Parliament, it takes a few days for the legislature to send it to the presidency. And then within a week, the bill is signed by the President for it to become law. But that is not the case with the Anti-Witchcraft Bill. It's been 3 months since its passage and yet to be signed by the President. Executive Director of the Sane Institute, Professor John Azuma, asserts that the bill is still in Parliament, citing the ongoing threats to lives due to accusations of witchcraft and wizardry.
We all spoke out, people condemned it, and then when it comes to acting to bring about a legislation that will help address the issue, there is some foot dragging or there is some attempts to stall the bill. We are waiting for Parliament to resume from recess, and we will go to Parliament and demand to know where the bill is. We have been on the ground. We've tried to sensitize the communities. We've tried to do a lot of education. Some of the people see it as a deeply held belief and a cultural practice, and therefore education alone would not work.
He advocates for a law that acts as a deterrent and allows the police to arrest and prosecute perpetrators.
All the police can do is arrest people when there's a physical violence. And that is the problem. Because the accusation doesn't just come with physical violence alone. It comes with banishment. It comes with seizure of people's properties and their lands back in their communities. They drive them away from their homes, and they live in isolation in communities that they are strangers in.
But in an interview with the majority leader, Osei Mensah Bonsu, who also heads government business, Parliament has long transferred the bill to the presidency.
The bills that were passed by Parliament, all of them have gone to the presidency. There are a couple of them that my understanding is the Attorney General has raised some issues with. But I think it doesn't include anti-witchcraft. The president, the last time he spoke with me, he wanted to have some consultation with the speaker on those. I think there are two bills. I think the anti-witchcraft is not part of it.
The main question remains, what is preventing the president from signing the bill for it to become law? Evelyn Tenkma, TV3 News, Accra.
Moving on, Professor of the University of Ghana's Political Science Department, Ransford Jampel, says the new Patriotic Party's promise on Agenda 111 was made without using applied research. He warned that government will continue to be disappointed if they do not conduct prior applied research before making policies.
It is crucial for nations to develop and inform policy decisions, particularly applied research, which is essential for addressing societal challenges and serves as the cornerstone for development. Ghana has made significant advancements in various research fields, such as healthcare, agriculture, education and technology. However, it is crucial to guarantee that those who require it most receive it. At the SD Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies third consecutive research conference, keynote speaker Professor Ransford Jampel highlighted a gap between applied research output, policy formulation and implementation.
In the heat of COVID, government promised that I'm going to build 111 hospitals. Government did this on the spur of the moment without research. Now later, when it got to the crunch and implementation had to go on, they realized that even common acquisition of land for the construction of such projects wasn't going to be easy. The government's policy statement on the Agenda 111 had been tampered with applied research findings. Government would have known that it was not feasible to achieve or realize that within that time frame that it gave to itself.
The founder and vice chancellor of the Miller Institute for Transdisciplinary and Development Studies, Professor David Miller, expressed partial disagreement.
We have the SADA master plan that applied research contributed to, but it has been abandoned for political reasons, and so on and so forth. There are some policies that have been off-taken in full, some in parts, some have been abandoned.
The Director of Research, Innovation and Consultancy at the SD Dombo University in Wa, Professor Frederick Dayour, asserted that applied research can afford innovative solutions to the country's complex challenges.
This year's conference witnessed a surge in abstract submissions totaling 104. Impressively, 84 of these abstracts have successfully passed the blind review and are scheduled for presentations over the next 2 days. It is when research findings are translated into well-informed policies and effectively implemented that we can truly transform the lives of the citizenry.
Now, some chiefs in the Volta region have called for a swift resolution of boundary disputes between Ghana and Togo. After a sensitization forum on boundary reaffirmation, Paramount Chief of the Honuta traditional area, Togbe Kofi Ayisa, believes resolving boundary issues quickly will reduce confusion in border communities.
The border between Ghana and Togo, established in 1927, spans 906 kilometers. Over time, pillars and buffer areas have been encroached prompting the Ghana Boundaries Commission and Togolese counterparts to initiate a sensitization forum for border communities to protect national land boundaries. Residents are required to assist technical personnel in reaffirming the boundary and constructing new pillars in the third phase of the border reaffirmation project, which will span a 100-kilometer stretch over 4 weeks.
Once this affirmation is done, it will bring clarity to where the land boundary line is, international land boundary lines, and then it will also define clearly where the pillars are. Remember that we're introducing additional pillars that will make the boundary line identifiable on the ground so that it will not confuse the communities who live along these boundaries.
Chiefs in the Volta region who have traditional areas beyond the Ghana-Togo border are concerned about the sudden confusion caused by border disputes.
In fact, my community had a very long conflict with another community in Togo, where they call Wome. You know, there is this hill here. There's a big hill here. That is our ancestral home. But when you get there now, part of it is in Togo and part of it is in Ghana. Okay? So there was this conflict of how to share resources from that place.
He expressed optimism that Ghana can effectively manage the issue of the alleged infiltration of Togo nationals on Ghana's electoral roll with proper boundary mapping.
You have heard or you know the Ghanaian politics about people coming from other countries to come and register to vote and that type of thing. Again, these boundaries are the source of those confusions. So when these boundaries are reaffirmed and the pillars re-erected, then it is clear whether somebody is a Ghanaian or a Togolese or where he or she is coming from.
Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources Benito Ousubio stated that Ghana is well equipped to address any concerns arising from the boundary reaffirmation exercise.
If you don't resolve them now, it can generate into something else. The good thing is that we have the support of our partners, that's the Togolese government and then the Togolese Boundary Commission. And we are not going to create. But then we have to judge or come together and agree and then ensure that we erect them back again.
Ghana is aiming to reaffirm its boundaries with Togo, Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso after successfully securing its maritime boundary with Côte d'Ivoire.
Let's now get some sports news from Yao Ovosuyadri. Yao, over to you.
Let's head into sports this afternoon here on Media Live on TV3. And on Saturday, Chelsea will lock horns with Arsenal in the London derby at the Stamford Bridge. And the Gunners are joint top of the Premier League, while the Blues are in the bottom half. Mikel Arteta is Arsenal manager and Mauricio Pochettino is Chelsea manager.
Competitive, all the coaches. We are very competitive, and when you go to play against also if it's part of my family, you know, we want to win and to destroy, you know, the opponent. And yes, but it's going to be strange, but I think in some point I'm going to feel proud to see him and to compete with him.
Oh, that's the last experience, the last feeling that we had between us, and it was the game and the way we won it and how we competed against that team. But it's just a game, and now it's about having the consistency and keeping the standards very, very high, because the next game against Chelsea is going to be even harder.
After a cracking game tonight. Now we take you back to Munich 11 years ago as Ryan Bertrand recounts Chelsea's maiden success in the UEFA Champions League. Urikwampofo has more in this report.
May 19, 2012, a day Chelsea fans will relish for the rest of their lives. The Blues won their first ever Champions League trophy, beaten Bayern Munich on penalties.
A new name on the trophy. Chelsea
are kings of Europe in Bayern's backyard.
For Ryan Bertrand, it's a day he will forever remember after he became the first player to make his Champions League debut in a final.
It was the afternoon of the day of the game, and Robbie pulled me aside and said, "You'll be playing this afternoon," and I kind of said, "Okay then." I think it was nice that I was still young, so I didn't think too much. But in the season, towards the end of the season, we actually done that quite a few times in training. We practiced it, and the last few games of the Premier League, I think we actually put the tactic in place. But it was always one of them where I thought, surely not in the Champions League final.
You started as a winger right in front of Ashley Cole. What did you feel like, playing in an unfamiliar role?
Yeah, I think it helped by having like clear tactics and understanding football. There was a game to play, but it was more about at a high level you have to understand football and you have to understand games and moments. So I think he trusted me to do that.
Quite often, Chelsea's success on that day and the entire Champions League campaign in 2012 has been attributed to luck. But was that really the case?
If you go back from the Napoli game, it was a poor performance away. They come back and set the game right and qualified well. The Barcelona game is going to always be a massive achievement to beat them, especially the Barcelona of old, like them. But a testament to the players again, the group, the squad, the manager, how he kind of co-led the dressing room with the leaders, and it was a real cohesive unit. And I think that mentality and that togetherness, made us just feel unbeatable or feel we can achieve anything.
Now, this debate is amongst Chelsea fans mostly. There's always been that comparison between the 2012 group and the 2021 group. Both of them won the UEFA Champions League. In a mystical matchup, who are you backing to win between these two sides?
Yes, just 2012, obviously I would be biased, right? Yeah, I'd have to go with my team, yeah.
On well, some more stories, and the maiden edition of the African Football League kick-started earlier on Friday with Tanzanian giant Simba held to a 2-2 draw by Egyptian powerhouse Al Ahly in the first quarter-final game. Here are the highlights.
For Al Ahly right before half-time, and they have struck the opening goal in first half stoppage time. It's the Moroccan Reda Slim. Swung back in once more, better looking ball. Ball stayed in play too, hooked across goal, and they have the equaliser. And it's
and it will be a fair result if they
get
a goal.
And it's in! And it is in! It's 2-1!
Their opponent.
It's a cross goal and it's tipped away, but there is Karabat with the equaliser.
Right, some Ghana Premier League news now. And Real Tamale United moved to the summit of the Ghana Premier League table after a commanding 3-1 victory against Accra Lions. Lions have suffered their third successive defeat and are languishing in 13th place with just 5 points from 6 games.
Box of Accra Lions. This can be dangerous, and it's the first goal for RTU. Baba Kushibo puts RTU up. Abdurrahman. It's the second goal for RTU. From nowhere, Mankuye swings one in, and they have one back. Abdul Rahman, Mankuyeli goes for goal, and again Afo has gifted a goal to RTU.
As a Real Tamale United, they're cruising in Accra. My name is Yao Fusulabi. That's all the sports. Entertainment news is up next.
In entertainment news, Ghanaian entrepreneur and singer Diamond Michelle, popularly known as Michi, says she will no longer have collaborations without proper contractual agreements. The singer, who has a new song titled Hustle, told The Entertainment she regrets not having a contract for her previous collaborations. We'll bring you that story later, but still in entertainment news, the 2023 MTV's Europe Music Awards have been cancelled as the conflict in the Middle East continues, according to a statement posted by the show's social media page. Quote, given the volatility of world events, we have decided not to move forward with the 2023 MTV's EMAs out of an abundance of caution for the thousands of employees, crew, members, artists, fans and partners who travel from all corners of the world to bring the show to life. The network said in a statement, the MTV EMA's annual celebration of global music. The statement continued that as we watch the devastating effects in Israel and Gaza continue to unfold, this does not feel like a moment for a global celebration. With thousands of lives already lost, it is a moment of mourning. MTV noted that voting for the 2023 show will continue through the end of the month and the winning artists will still receive their MTV EMA awards. Let's bring you some international news now, as Burkina Faso's health ministry has declared a dengue fever epidemic amid the deadliest outbreak in years. More than 200 people have died, and new cases are rising sharply. There have been 50,480 suspected cases and 214 deaths of the mosquito-borne illness this year, mostly in the urban centers of the capital, Ouagadougou, and Bobo Dioulasso. The health ministry says about 20% of the cases and deaths were recorded last week alone. Now, the disease kills an estimated 20,000 people worldwide each year. The World Health Organization has warned this month that the disease would become a major threat in new part of Africa as warmer temperatures create conditions for the mosquitoes carrying the infection to spread. The fever is spread by infected Aedes aegypti mosquitoes. Now, symptoms include fever, muscle pain, nausea and rashes. Lack of treatment or misdiagnosis common in poverty-stricken countries such as Burkina Faso, where healthcare is spotty, increase the chances of death. Still in international news, trucks carrying aid have entered Gaza for the first time since the Israel-Hamas war erupted. UN vehicles with white flags moved through the Rafah crossing into Gaza from Egypt. Earlier, Hamas released its first hostages since its major surprise attack on Israel 2 weeks ago. Mother and daughter Judith and Natalie Renan were among about 200 people abducted, released. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel is trying to free more hostages, though his forces will also fight till victory. Israel continued to bombard Gaza overnight. It's 2 weeks since Hamas launched its assault on Israel, killing more than 1,400 people. Palestinian officials say more than 4,000 people have died in Gaza since then. A package for you this afternoon on Midday Live, but there's always more news on our website, 3news.com. My name is Noble Crosby Annan, and on behalf of the entire production team, thank you so much for watching the bulletin. See you again some other time. It's the weekend. Enjoy it. Bye-bye.